The Etruscan shrew lives its life in fast forward. To survive, its tiny heart must beat 1,200 times every single minute. At that pace, a shrew reaches the end of its lifespan in just about a year and a half. On the other end of the scale is the African bush elephant. Its heart beats a rhythmic 30 times per minute, and it can live for up to 70 years. But if you multiply their heart rates by their total lifespans, you find a consistent result. Both the fast-living shrew and the Mason elephant experience the same total number of heartbeats, exactly 1 billion. This holds for wallabies and for sloths and house cats alike. Regardless of size or environment, nearly every mammal runs out of time right around that 1 billion beat mark. It's a mathematical boundary enforced on nearly every mammal on Earth. We can see what happens when we ignore this math by looking at a 1962 CIA experiment on an Indian elephant named Tusco. Researchers wanted to test the effects of LSD on the animal, but they had no data for a creature that large. They knew a safe dose for a cat was about 0.3 milligrams. Since Tusco weighed 1,000 times more than a cat, they simply multiplied the dose by 1,000. They injected Tusco with nearly 300 milligrams of LSD. Within 5 minutes, the elephant collapsed, went into seizures, and died. They had assumed that biological requirements scale in a straight linear line with mass. This scaling doesn't work because of basic physics. As an animal gets larger, its volume grows much faster than its surface area. If an elephant's metabolism increased at the same rate as its mass, it would generate more heat than its skin could ever radiate away. It would boil alive. Biological scaling cannot be a straight line, leaving scientists to search for the geometric patterns that govern energy use. This log-log plot shows how metabolism scales with mass. Instead of a linear relationship, the data falls along a line with a slope of 3/4. This is Kleiber's law. This slope represents a massive energy saving. If you double an animal's mass, its energy needs only increase by about 68%. Larger animals are far more efficient per pound of tissue than smaller ones. The WBE theory suggests this efficiency comes from the body's internal transport networks. To deliver nutrients to every cell, nature uses a network of branching blood vessels. This design minimizes energy needed to pump blood, ensuring every part of the body is reached. This network uses fractal geometry, patterns that repeat at smaller and smaller scales. It is like crumbling a 2-dimensional sheet of paper until it fills a 3-dimensional volume, allowing for maximum exchange surface in a compact space. This fractal geometry dictates how efficiently any animal processes energy, regardless of its physical size. This scaling also determines heart rate. A mammal's pulse rate scales with its mass to the power of -1/4. As an animal gets larger, its heart rate slows down. Simultaneously, lifespan scales with mass to the power of +1/4. Larger animals live longer before metabolic damage ends their life. To find total heartbeats in a lifetime, we multiply the heart rate by the lifespan. When you multiply these two terms, the mass variables cancel each other out. Physical size disappears from the equation, leaving behind a constant integer, 1 billion. This is why the shrew and the elephant reach the same total pulse count. The 1 billion beat limit is a constant for mammals, locked in by the geometry of their biology. Modern humans are the exception. We now average nearly 3 billion heartbeats in a lifetime. Historically, we were bound by the 1 billion beat mark, but sanitation and medicine changed our trajectory, drastically increasing the number of years we live. We supported these lifespans by building cities, complex structures that function like a larger biological system. Cities follow their own scaling laws. For infrastructure like roads and power lines, they scale at a slope of 0.85. When a city doubles in size, it only needs about 75% more resources. But human metrics like wages, GDP, and patents scale at a slope of 1.15. As cities grow larger, the rate of innovation and wealth per person increases exponentially. While we are limited by the fractal networks inside our bodies, the cities we built serve as a massive external metabolism, an economy of scale that extended our survival and granted us billions of extra heartbeats.